find myself quite often in a room with George, who is behind the camera, and Laura Drain.
Hi.
Mostly because we do a show called Master and Student Psychotherapist. I, in this game, I am the student, and you are the master. Right. Listen, at the end of the last one, we started to encroach on belief system, spirituality, that kind of thing. Now, as you know, and we talked about, I don't really have a belief system.
Well, you do, but you don't have a spiritual belief system.
No. Okay, let's look at my belief system.
Yeah.
Right, I believe that if I vocalise what's wrong or what I'm worried about out into the air, so some people would call that praying, right?
Right.
So I vocalise outside of my own head what's bothering me.
Okay.
I don't talk to anyone, I do it in a room, I do it in a car, but because I am speaking outside of my face, it doesn't stay inside and I don't worry at it quite so much anymore.
Okay.
Okay, now I believe that I am talking to something, I suppose, or I am just exorcising demons.
Okay.
That's about as far as my belief system goes.
Around spirituality.
Yeah.
Because you've got belief systems about loads of things. You've got belief systems about everything. So you have a belief system that you're not very good at learning. You have a belief system that you're never going to be able to change your career. They're all belief systems. So what we're talking about here, and sorry if I'm taking over and doing your job.
You bloody do that, mate. No, this is your job. You're the master.
You're talking about your belief system around spirituality, specifically.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd never even thought about the fact you have belief systems to everything. That's kind of like a moment. Okay, right. So, are we allowed to talk about your belief system? I think we have done, haven't we? We've looked at that a little bit.
If you want.
So, why is it important to have a belief system in your eyes?
Around spirituality.
Around spirituality.
Okay. So I don't know whether it's important for other people or not, but I know it's important for me to believe that there is there's a power greater than me that is benevolent, that has my back, that wants the best for me, that isn't trying to trick me up. So like some people say, you know, like my mum, if I said something like, I think it's going to be a really nice summer this summer, my mum will say, oh, don't say that out loud, touch wood. You know, that's a belief system that if you say stuff out loud, bad stuff's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, jinxing it.
So for me, I need to believe that there is a force out there that wants the best for me. So if I just keep doing the right thing, keeping my side of the street clean, then the universe will reward me by giving me what I need, not what I want, but what I need.
Have you found that to be the truth?
Yeah, I have, yeah. Ever since I came into recovery, I've got exactly what I've needed when I've needed it. Okay,
I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works, right? If you have no belief system around spirituality, that sounds delusional.
What do you mean? Oh, you think my belief system sounds delusional? Yeah. Yeah.
Because you are trusting in something that you don't even know exists. To provide for you, as long as you're doing the work, you're, as you said, keeping your side of the street clean, which is a phrase I like. Thank you very much. I worry that you have been programmed by your rehabilitation process and necessarily the 12 steps or whatever, because that asks you to find a higher power.
It tells you need a power greater than yourself in your life, and it needs to be good.
Right, but I mean, it's obviously my personal head banging about things. I'm trying not to kick the table. That's kind of an impasse. You believe I don't? Yeah,
so that's fine, because you don't need to believe to make me happy.
No.
My happiness doesn't depend on you having a spirituality in your life. It really doesn't, because of my spiritual beliefs, I don't need other people to do what I want them to do, because I know that the universe has a plan. The universe has a plan for you. It's not my job to convert you, to make you do anything, to behave in a way that I want you to behave. And that is so freeing. It's so freeing not to feel the need to control other people to try and get them to do what I want, because you've got your own journey, and it's none of my business. So it doesn't matter to me what you do. And that's how I am with my clients. I can give them what I can give them, but what they choose to do is up to them. And I have very little emotional attachment to that, because I can't have, because otherwise I would burn out like that.
But also then that becomes friendship rather than a professional therapist. If you have emotional connections which are guiding what you're doing, that's got to be detrimental to the process as well as you.
I disagree, because I think having an emotional connection to the work is a good thing. Having an emotional connection to the outcome of the work isn't helpful, because I cannot control what the outcome of the work is.
Okay.
So if I've got a suicidal client and I have a lot of emotional attachment to that person and I want them to be well and I want them to recover, that's okay. But if my emotional state is dependent upon them not committing suicide, I'm fucked.
Absolutely.
Because they might do it. A lot of people do.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, as a therapist, it's not about control, is it? It's about finding a coping way.
It's not about the outcome.
No.
It's not about me helping that person to get better. It's about me saying, this is what I've got, this is how we can work together. What you choose to do with that is up to you. I cannot be emotionally attached to what that person does with the therapy, because like I said, I would just burn out immediately.
Yeah, no, I can completely see that.
So that's where my spiritual belief comes in really useful, because I know that God, the universe, whatever, has a plan for that person, and whatever that plan is none of my business. All I can do is help them in the moment.
Okay, but surely that negates the need for therapy then, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, if there's a plan in the universe for that person, it's going to happen whatever happens.
Yeah, but what we're doing is we're helping them in the here and now. So we're helping them navigate like real life situations. What happens at the end is up to them, you know. But
no, absolutely, I get that. I think I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm saying to you,
dick.
I'm just being a dick. Yes, Laura, I'm being a dick. I think that's fair comment.
Sorry.
No, that's fair enough. Right, but look at it from, well, you can't look at it from my point of view.
Go on, let me try.
Okay, look, here we go. There's a plan in the universe, right? And it's written down.
I never said it was written down.
No, okay. Is it transient? Does the plan change?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know the nuts and bolts of the plan.
You're trusting in the fact that somebody has a plan that you have no control over.
Something has a plan. Something has a plan for me. There is a plan for me.
I'm envious, actually.
So do it then.
Well, I can't just go, yeah, I believe in the God of pants.
But you said you pray, you vocalise. So what are you talking to?
Do you know what I see it as?
Go on.
Taking my head for a shit.
So you're talking to a big toilet?
No, I'm just talking to nothing. I'm expelling demons. That's what I'm doing. Exorcising my negative thoughts.
So where are those thoughts going?
They're just fucking off into the ether, mate.
Ether.
Nobody's catching these thoughts.
There you go.
Yeah, but the ether doesn't mean a thing, does it? The ether's just like a... Oh, God, I'm not going to win this, am I? I don't need to win. You see, that's the other thing. I accept your spirituality, and also I'm happy that you have that. Look.
What is stopping you from just exploring the possibility that there might be something greater than you at work?
My skepticism is stopping me.
Right.
My inability to trust. That's not
inability to trust.
That's not a realisation. I've known that for a while.
Okay, so when are you going to get yourself into therapy?
When I can afford it. It's that simple. Because I haven't got a pot to piss in at the minute.
Okay.
Because I keep doing all the charity helping learning things, which is good for me, and I'm really enjoying learning. Can I point out, right, that I am 50, as you probably know, but also haven't been in a classroom for 35 years. Oh my Christ. I haven't been in a classroom for 35 years, right? And I genuinely had fear that I could not learn, right? As you know. You can learn, man. Whoever you are, whatever you are. There's one society, is it Norway or something, where they pay? Like, all learning is free, university level is free. And this old lady, I heard this anecdote the other day, this old lady was asked, why are you studying to master's level this psychology? She said, because I can. And he said, well, you know, you're in the dark shades of your life kind of thing. And she went, well, yeah. but then I can die knowing that I know things. And I just think that's amazing, you know, having that ability. So let me tell anyone who is umming and ahhing about learning a new skill, it doesn't have to be psychotherapy, it doesn't have to be anything. It could be computer studies or whatever the hell.
So have we got off on this tangent to avoid the question about when you're going to go into therapy?
No, no, but I wanted to undermine my point, Laura Jane. Okay, so what do you think? What should I do then? Come on then.
Find yourself a therapist. Work out why you don't trust people.
I know why I don't trust people.
Okay, so work through it.
Right, when you've been in situations where you can't trust people and you have to mask and pretend to be something and all of that, and you do it for so long, it's inherent not to trust anybody. Also, I've been fucked over so many times out in the real world as well.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, I get it. I understand.
I'm sure, but you see, I can trust, but then every time I have, I've been burnt.
So you choose the wrong people.
Oh yeah. Apart from George and Lee.
Okay.
Out in the world.
So you're learning to trust the right people.
Well, I trust that, one, I know that I put George out on a daily basis and he's never stabbed me in the head. So I know that there's trust there, right? Lee as well, who is the co-host of 50 and Coping, is if I need something or I need to talk, then we'll, you know, he picks up the phone straight away, right, what's happening? Also, vice versa, two-way street, and that's where you know you trust somebody. You know. So
why can't you trust in the universe? Why can't you trust that there's a benevolent force out there that wants the best for you?
Because I've made some pretty shitty life choices.
But it's brought you to where you are now, which is where you're meant to be.
Yeah, but wouldn't I have got here anyway?
Don't know.
Exactly. So your strength of feeling, for you feel like what's brought you here after all the troubles you've been through, that's the benevolent guiding light. Yeah. I do feel that I have been incredibly lucky in certain situations. Right? So I'll go that far. Like, you know, places, you know, in theory, there was a situation where I was going to be banged up for the rest of my life. And I hadn't done it. But everyone wanted that belief. So
how comes you didn't then?
Because it was luck.
Was it?
Or was it God? Who knows? Yeah, no, I get that. But... okay, I think spirituality is so open-ended that you're blindly trusting that there is something that will carry you.
I know, but why wouldn't you? Given the choice of being like a bitter cynic, of like the world is a shit place, everything's shit, everything's always going to be shit.
I'm not like that.
To, there's a good force out there that wants the best for me and I just have to keep doing the next right thing. Which would you choose?
Well, if it was a conscious choice, obviously you would choose the rosier side of the street.
So why don't you?
Because I don't believe it's a choice that you can make.
Why?
Well, because I don't know, I have no frame of reference. Also, is spirituality a choice? Do I decide that? And doesn't that make it fake?
No, I chose it. I chose it when I got into recovery. I chose it, and it was based on evidence. It was based on the fact that the right people came into my life at the right time and showed me the right places to go and the right things to do for me to be able to turn my life around. I don't think any of those things were a coincidence.
No.
I really don't, because there are 1,000,001 different permutations that could have happened that could have had a very different ending. But for me, it's ended the way it's ended, and I'm right where I'm meant to be. This is always meant to be my job. I was always meant to be a therapist. I know that now in hindsight, but I needed to go where I needed to go to get to this point. I'd have been a shit therapist if nothing had ever happened to me in my life.
No, well, exactly that. That's what it goes back to.
Do you not believe that about yourself? That this is exactly where you're meant to be? You're meant to have gone through all of that stuff to get to this point where you can now be of use to your fellow human being.
There has been a distinct change. And someone asked me, why the hell are you doing all this? Why are you suddenly trying to help people and doing all that? And I said, because, and I actually looked at that and I said, I've taken for so long from people, you know, selling tattoos or selling drugs or whatever it was. I've taken so much from the world that I genuinely believe I should be giving something back. And also I've found a kind of quiet peace in my ability to help people, because people do come to me to talk. People do trust me. But
so how has that happened, Jim? Because left to your own devices, you fuck things up, don't you? You take drugs, you drink, you get into trouble with the police, So how has it happened that you are now where you are?
I've grown up.
So it's all you.
No, it's a lot to do with my wife and my child,
Right.
because I have a different set of goals.
Okay.
Because without me, that child will struggle. You know, I've got a different set of boundaries set by taking on marriage, taking on a child. I mean that's. But I think.
So do you believe that the universe put your wife in your path?
I don't know if it's that vindictive. That was a joke, Sid. I apologise.
You're going to pay for that, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, and so I should. But no, I mean, you know, if you look at my life, right, it's monetarily, it's absolutely destroyed, right? But I'm still here. I'm still functioning. I am looking at ways of changing my life so I can do what I now want to do, which I'm not sure is therapy. I'm not sure is charity work and doing that. As long as it's something that where I feel like I am helping.
So let's look at the situation that you're in terms of your...
Are you analysing me?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
So shut the fuck up.
Okay.
So let's look at your studying. How has that all come about? Because you get funding for all of the courses, so it hasn't cost you anything.
No, it hasn't. But then that's free courses that you get anyway. You told me about the course things.
Yeah, and who put me in your life?
Well, it depends which time.
Well, all of it. You know, do you think we met by coincidence? Do you think that we're back now doing this stuff by coincidence? Or do you think that there's something at work here that wants you doing the sort of work that you're moving into? And I've just been put in your path to help you along in that journey. That's how I see it.
I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, okay. I will admit that when explained to me by you, there is a possibility that there is something guiding something else. But I don't believe it. I've told you that I do all of these podcasts in a place of truth, right? So
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
lying
I
to
agree.
me or lying to
I'm
anybody.
glad that you are honest about it. I feel like it's a shame that you can't allow yourself to have that belief that, you know, maybe there's something out there that really wants you to have a fulfilling, rich life.
I hope, I mean, I'm eternally hopeful.
Oh, good. I'm glad you are.
That's the difference actually between me now.
So you've got a slightly open mind in that you hope that it could be a thing.
Yeah. And also, I suppose I'm arrogant enough to believe that I have brought about change.
Well, you have, because you've done the next right thing, but you've been shown what to do.
Yeah.
You've been shown by something greater than you. Why don't you try this? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about applying for that? You know.
You see, the cynic in me would then say that I'm somebody's puppet.
Why does it have to be negative? Why does it always have to revert to negative for you? Like you're somehow having the piss taken out of you.
I don't know. That's
a belief system.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's the default setting for you. Is that, oh yeah, well, whatever, cynic.
No, I don't think that was cynical. That it could be looked at that if you're looking at it a different way. I mean, that even though I'm cynical, maybe it's still valid in a belief system because it's something that if I do believe.
I just think it's a shame that your default position tends to be negative.
I think, yeah. I mean, I can see why I am negative, and I can see on that, and I will have to work on that.
And I do think you have a choice because, you know, bad stuff's happened to me too.
Yeah.
Bad stuff happens to a lot of people, but you have a choice about whether you let it define you and make you cynical and bitter, or whether you just think, okay, well, you know, that happened, and I'm where I'm meant to be, and I'm making the best of it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, what it boils down to is, though, that I bought into this and I'm doing it and I'm succeeding.
Yeah, and I think that's fantastic.
Thank you.
I really do.
I do too. You know, I said this out loud the other day. I'm not often proud of myself ever, right? Because I've done so much stupid shit. But this I'm proud of.
Yeah.
And I don't need anyone else to be proud of me. There are certain people who don't give a toss, and it's like, why would they? It's not, you know, they're not achieving. I am. But I'm proud of this.
Yeah, good.
So, you know, as long as that carries on, then, you know.
So there's a little kernel of positivity there, of benevolence, of like, this is a good thing, I'm doing really well, I'm really proud of myself for doing this. And I think that is the beginning of perhaps a more positive belief system in general. Like the world is a good place. I'm going to do good things. Just a bit more positive.
Am I a negative human being then? Because I don't necessarily see that.
I'd say, yeah, on a scale of sort of 0 to 100, 100 being very positive and 0 being negative, I'd say you're probably at about like 35, 40.
Okay, that's fair. There's a lot to think about in that. So, spirituality, does it help you? Do you know what? In the comments below, you don't have to tell me what your religion, what your belief is, but does spirituality come into your life? If it does, just leave a comment below and tell us how. Laura, it's time to end. We will see you next time.